Going on, guys? Cloud9 Airsoft here. As you can tell by the table, we got something new. We are putting together a Gorilla Mac HPA grip. Now, if you don't know, you won't know. This basically allows the tank to screw to the back. So then you have your full gun right there. So we're gonna go through. I'm gonna show you guys how to put your regulator in your grip. All right, so all jokes aside, we gotta look into this real quick to see how we're actually gonna do this. As you can tell, I've already routed my line and wiring through the bottom. And then we got this fat hole with a couple of different holes sections here as well. We got one hole in the back, one hole there. So that hole, the smaller one, is going to be actually for your FPS adjustment, and that back hole is going to be for your hose, and that's where your hose is actually going to stick out. But the first thing we have to do is we actually have to take apart our regulator to fit it in our housing. So we're going to set this off to the side, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop off these 4 screws. Now I am using the category 5 grip. I want to say they do make a different grip for a different regulator, but today we're doing the category 5 because I have multiple of these Storm regulators and I like them. They have a really high PSI rating. I've pushed them up to at least 160 PSI at the max for my DMRs, and then they also have a really good refresh rate. So really fast, snappy trigger response. So if you have consistent feeding, you're gonna get a better refresh rate for your HPA system. So we're gonna take apart these 4 set screws, and I will come back to when we have this disassembled. All right, so now we got our screws taken out. What we're also gonna do is we're gonna back out our FPS screw, our velocity adjustment screw, back to about the rim, if not a little bit higher, so that way when you do unscrew it, it stays in its normal position. There is a disassembly video that I've used from Wolverine themselves to tell you how to take apart the regulator for maintenance. So I mean, you could use that too. It basically, that's what we're using to take apart our regulator, is that maintenance guide video. So I will leave a link in the description for it, but we're gonna back out that set screw, and then you're gonna take an Allen key, fit it through these 2 holes, and then you're gonna counterclockwise unscrew this cap, should I say threaded piece, away from your top half. So we're gonna do that here real quick. All right, so now we got our cap off. As you can see, mine actually pulled off with your little seat there. Sometimes it may stick in there, sometimes it may stick on here, you never know. But what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna hit it with the palm of our hand and kind of knock it out of place. So we will do that real quick and we'll be right back. So I was dumb, I forgot to mention, you need to back out your set screw. Make sure you back out your set screw before you try to pound it out like I did. But now we have 2 pieces. One side right here with your shims and everything. I've already taken this apart and re-lubed it and everything before making this video, so I'm not even gonna try to clean it or anything because I've already cleaned it. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna snap it back in place into this little module here. Make sure it's flat and seated properly, and that's how it's gonna stay. We're gonna set that aside for now and focus on this piece. So this is the hardest part, in my opinion, trying to figure out how to take these 2, the gauge itself and this, should I say output valve, where your hose sticks into. It's kind of a pain. So I would recommend using a vice grips. I literally had to go buy one because I tried to take it apart with my hands and it didn't work. So we're gonna put this on the vise, and I will show you how to align it, and we will try to take off the gauge and this little input valve. All right, so we got our sandwiched on the vise. We got our reg sitting down there, clear. Now what you really want to make sure is that these are both flush. Like you got a little bit of even side on both. So we're pretty even. So I'm gonna take me a nice little Cressy. I'm just gonna put it on there, and I'm gonna try to essentially loosen it out. If not, I got some more tools I could try to use. So we're gonna figure this out, and I'll be back to when I get this off, but we're gonna try to get this off real quick. Okay, so that took some force. They are really on there, so be careful. I literally had to use a 1/2-inch crescent wrench. Pretty sure, I don't know what that is in metrics. So we're gonna use American 1/2-inch crescent wrench. And they do give you an extra. So like, this is what you would use when you put it into the grip. And also they give you some extra pieces and parts to use. I still don't know what half of them are for. I know these are for the actual gearbox, but I used normal gearbox screws. So they work just fine. I mean, normal gearbox screws work just fine. So we're gonna flip this over, go back to the regulator side, and then see if we can use this and hopefully get a regulator off without damaging it. Because they tell you to use a 22mm socket and a socket wrench, and I don't have a 22mm. So we're gonna make do and see if we can use our nice little wrench, adjustable wrench here to get off our gauge. All right, we got our gauge side locked up, ready to go. Make sure we're even on both sides. Looks pretty good. Time to take the gauge off. So counterclockwise, I'm gonna try to get this locked in as nice as possible. Fits up over there, and we're gonna try to take it out. So we were able to pull the gauge off, and I didn't damage it, no cracks, no nothing, didn't bend it. But I did you get a vice grips. If you're gonna do this, you need a vice grips, because there is no way you are doing this with your hands. Nobody is that strong to hold that type of glue in there, because they put locking glue around the threads. So keep in mind, locking glue. So get a vice grips. So we got our little thing out. I'm gonna pull this out. We'll go back to the table and see how we can arrange the setup here. Okay, so we're back at the table. We got our back cap right here. We're gonna try to arrange this. So this little piece right here, it actually comes out. So we're gonna pull that out, give us some more space, and we're gonna slide in this back cap first. And then we're gonna slide in that cap next and see where we get. So see what happens, and we'll be right back. All right, so we changed up our area of place here. Went inside. My hands were getting a little too cold. We just really needed the vice grip so I could take off the gauge and the inlet. So what we did was, off camera, I put the gauge back in. So we got our pressure gauge right there. And I tried to screw back in the grip itself. I'm having a time, should I say a pain, getting the set screw for the FPS adjustment in, and also the nozzle for the air hose. So I took it off the gun, so that way we can actually like get into it. So I'm gonna go and screw in the two pieces, and I will let you guys know what I did after when it's all done. Okay, so this is why I'm making a video, to show you how important it is to double check your work and making sure that you're doing things properly. I made it way too hard for myself, so I took the gauge back off, right? Popped this out, realized I didn't put in my screws. So what we could actually do is we could actually have our set screws in here and our FPS adjustment, slide this in there, and then put on our gauge and our air nozzle from the packaging. So I'm gonna do that, and we'll see what we get from there. All right, so we took the regulator out, took it apart, put it back together. We put in all 4 of our set screws. We put in our FPS adjustment screw. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in our gauge, and then we're gonna put in the air hose nozzle, and we will be pretty good to go, and then we can set everything up together and see if she works. Now that's all put together, see, like, super fast. Pretty good. I like it.